Thank you, Mr. Mafume. Chair recognizes Mr. Grothman from Wisconsin for 5 minutes.
Thank you. The first question doesn't mean to be insulting. I appreciate, Mayor Bowser, that sometimes you've had to take on your city council as we deal with the problem of crime. And I've often repeated a story in which I don't go abroad much, but about 20 years ago I was in Taipei, Taiwan, and I asked my tour guide with a friend of mine if there's anywhere in Taipei that we couldn't go. And to my surprise, they said, no, everywhere in Taipei is safe. Taipei is bigger than Chicago. And I felt kind of a little bit ashamed for a second because I knew that if a visitor from Taiwan came to the United States and saw Washington, D.C. and asked me if there's anywhere that they couldn't go, I would have had to said yes. Quite a few places you can't go in town. I appreciate that you've taken on your city council on some issues related to crime, which means that given the huge crime problem you have, a lot of members of the city council keep getting elected but don't agree with you that certain action has to be taken. Could you explain why people get elected to the Washington, D.C. council? At least on the face of it, it doesn't seem that they're electing people for whom preventing crime is a top priority, which I can't figure out.
Well, I've learned over the years not to question the voters. As Congresswoman Mfume just said, they elect who they want, and my job is to work with who the people send. And that is how I have approached my work as mayor and as a member of the council. I do use my position to make sure I'm educating the public about what we need and what's not working.
Yeah, that's okay. You only give me 5 minutes. Want to talk a little bit about your schools. You're spending $22,000 per pupil, which is one of the highest in the country. If you go down the test scores, only 31% of your students read at or above grade level. 19% of your students pass grade level in math. If we look at high school students alone, only 11% are at grade level for math. By the way, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to submit for the record this Washington Post article entitled, DC Math Reading and Test Scores Fall to Lowest Level in More Than 5 Years.
Without objection, so ordered.
Now, I understand COVID played a role here, but all that is past. Our focus has to be going forward. Mayor Bowser, do you believe the DC Public Schools is properly focused on ensuring kids reach grade level achievement?
I couldn't be prouder of the progress that we've made in DC public schools. In my submitted testimony, I include the more than 15-year investment we've made in transforming public schools. And we continue.
Given the test scores, are you really satisfied with that?
I know that as an urban school district, we have excelled faster than most in the investments that we continue to make. For example, in free pre-K for all 3- and 4-year-olds in the District of Columbia is paying dividends. The investments that we're making in reimagining high school and connecting our high school graduates to advanced technical training is also paying off.
Sorry to cut you off. They give us 5 minutes. I guess my concern when I see record lows in math and reading, it concerns me. Nevertheless, under new standards, we see your second graders will analyze the history of same-sex relationships and gender fluidity in civilizations. In third grade, students will be taught the importance of affirming spaces. In sixth grade, they're going to be dealing with racism. All this type of thing at a time when reading and math seems to be a big problem. I have a copy of the curriculum here, by the way. I'd like to submit it for the record.
Without objection, so ordered.
Thanks. Ms. Bowser, Mayor Bowser, does having third grade students learn about the importance of affirming spaces improve the ability to read at grade level?
What I know as a DC public school parent is that I want my child to grow up as an informed world citizen. Of course, knowing how to read and write, knowing how to enjoy all the people of the world and the cultures of the world, and being able to actively participate in our government. So I'm very confident in
You
our...
feel that focusing on these, what most people call peripheral issues, is good at a time we can't read or do math?
I think our system of public education, where we have a elected state board of education that advises on policy and curriculum, and a public education team that has been innovative, and that is why we've seen the results that we have seen. Growing, and certainly none of us across the country were happy to see our kids fall back across the country during the COVID years, but we know how stressful they are. But with very significant investments from the American Rescue Plan, we've been able to focus on high-dose tutoring, improvement strategies that will improve our test scores.
Okay, hopefully things will be better off if my friends from Taiwan ever visit me here. Thank you.